John Wilkes Booth shot Abraham Lincoln in a crowded theater and escaped into the night. Minutes after the assassination, Booth reached Washington's Navy Yard Bridge and talked his way across to Maryland. By morning, Washington was being sealed off, detectives were interrogating suspects, and federal troops were spreading across the countryside. But the most wanted man in America was already gone. This is the story of the 12-day manhunt for John Wilkes Booth. After crossing into Maryland, Booth and his accomplice David Herold stopped at Surratt's Tavern, where weapons and supplies had been hidden for them. They then rode to the home of Dr. Samuel Mudd, who set Booth's injured left leg and allowed the fugitives to rest. Booth and Herold then disappeared into the forests of southern Maryland. They spent 4 nights hiding in a pine thicket, while Confederate operative Thomas Jones brought them food, newspapers, and information about the search. Booth expected to read that he was being celebrated as a hero. Instead, he despaired that journalists had condemned him as a murderer. On April 20th, the government issued its famous wanted poster featuring photographs of Booth, Herold, and fellow conspirator John Surratt. That same night, Jones led Booth and Herold to a small fishing boat and sent them across the Potomac River toward Virginia. But in the darkness, the fugitives became hopelessly lost. When the sun rose, they discovered they had rowed several miles, only to land back in Maryland. They hid for another day before trying again. This time, they reached Virginia. The fugitives continued south, depending on Confederate sympathizers for food, horses, and directions. Eventually, they arrived at the farm of Richard Garrett near Port Royal, Virginia. But their suspicious behavior convinced Garrett's son Jack that the strangers were dangerous. Jack refused to let them sleep inside the farmhouse. Instead, he allowed them to stay in the tobacco barn and locked them inside. Before dawn on April 26th, soldiers from the 16th New York Cavalry surrounded the barn. David Herold surrendered. Booth refused. He demanded that the soldiers step back and allow him to come out fighting. Instead, the troops set the barn on fire, hoping the flames would force him outside. Through the burning walls, Sergeant Boston Corbett saw Booth moving with a weapon and fired. The bullet struck Booth in the neck, paralyzing him. Soldiers dragged him from the flames and carried him to the porch of the Garrett farmhouse. John Wilkes Booth died there several hours later, just after sunrise. The manhunt that lasted 12 days and stretched across more than 90 miles had finally ended. And the legacy Booth left behind was not that of a patriot or a martyr, but of the despised murderer who killed Abraham Lincoln.